What it do, peeps? It's the Beat Chef with Watch the Damn Tape. Hit that like, that share, that subscribe button. Hit that bell to get notified when I drop my next video. To my new subscribers, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoy the show and I hope you get something out of the content. To my day ones, thank you for helping me build this platform and continue this WNBA conversation. Earlier this week, I had a conversation with a buddy and we were talking about business. And I said, you know, one of the reasons, the main reasons why a lot of businesses fail is because of consistency. Take, for instance, McDonald's. You can go to any McDonald's across the country and a Big Mac going to taste like a Big Mac. The fries are going to taste consistent across the board. With that being said, last night was a class in what's not consistent. In the Indiana Fever, haven't been consistent all season. And I'd like to acknowledge a few people. First, Alyssa Thomas. I don't like her personality. She come off as kind of like a thug, but one thing I do like about her, she consistent with the way she plays basketball. And that consistency, she's almost a threat to get a triple-double every night, which to me should be more commonplace in women's basketball, triple-double, because that's what you primarily should be elite at, passing, shooting. That's the only thing you can do. You can't dunk. Shout out to Jessica Shepard. Triple-double, quick, fast and in a hurry, consistent. Was 5 of 5 at one point, only missed one shot the entire game. Consistent. The third person I'd like to acknowledge is Debbie Antonelli. Debbie Antonelli, sharp as a whip. She's the play-by-play color commentary team for the Indiana Fever. She said something at the beginning of the game. And she always says something in these games that if you listen to it, if it doesn't play out, you know the reason why they lost. She said at the beginning of the game, in the first 3 minutes of the game, Aaliyah Boston needs to be involved early. She said that at the beginning of the game, and she said involved early. And I said, okay, I'm going to see how this plays out. First quarter starts off, they're on fire. And they're coming down, they're hitting threes like crazy. Get a nice little lead. But there was something in the air in this game, and it was, you can't quite put your foot on this team's neck. And it was always there, even if the lead was like 16-4, and then it just got dwindled, and the number 6 kept popping up on the screen. And I was like, they get up by 6, and then it just pauses, and Minnesota hangs around, and then Indy gets a bigger lead. And I'm like, okay, well, maybe they can get past this lead and get it into double digits. This team just got through losing. They got the advantage on them. They got an extra player. They're only going to play 8 players tonight. Indiana's playing 9. If Indiana can put their foot on their throat now, get in the paint like Debbie Antonelli said. Debbie Antonelli basically said that because they're short-handed. Get them in foul trouble. Slow this game down. Beat them up with your bigs. You got fouls to give. You got Dantes on the bench. No. Threes. Everybody's hitting threes. Shout out to Petty. She came in off the street. She came in. Waka. Threes. Quick. Lexi Hull's in the zone. You're thinking it's all good, but it reminded me of the Washington Mystics game. You're playing a style of basketball that you don't have any business playing, and the other team is macheting you slowly but surely. And if you remember in this game, they would shoot a 3. The Mystics the Lynx would come down, run a set, and get a layup. Easy buckets. And early on they were shooting about 60%, and the commentator said, it's crazy, the Lynx are shooting 60% and they're losing the game. And I'm like, yeah, they're losing the game for now. And that was the thing that was the tell that was telling. So at the end of the first quarter, it's 27-22 after all the shooting that the Fever did. They were only up by 5 points. Second quarter, Jessica Shepard is murdering, and I say murdering, Natasha Howard. This was the one game where Natasha Howard looked her age. She looked like she couldn't keep up with this girl. This girl was wearing her out, was wearing Boston out. She was in that paint, and she's destroying them. Kayla Mcbride, one of the most deadliest shooters in this league, especially when it comes from three. They would leave her wide ass open. No defense. But that's consistent with Stephanie White, who's supposed to be the defensive-minded coach. But there was no consistency, no communication, no talking. Everybody's just freewheeling and dealing, trying to look like they're trying to make a campaign for the next contract. Halftime, it's 52-50. I know it's over. It's over. It's over right then. It was exactly the same way they got done by the Mystics. They played around. The Mystics found their groove in the second, and then third and fourth, it's over. You flip the page to the third. Minnesota's playing team basketball. There's not even 2 damn minutes into the damn third quarter. Jessica Shepard already has a triple-double. Ice Cube is singing "Today is a Good Day." She done messed around and got a triple-double. I'm like, man, it's a wrap. 10 3-pointers in the first half. Only got 3 in the second. How you finish, you don't start. They don't start the games like this and then finish them the same way. You'll never get 2 consistent halves from a bad team. But Minnesota consistently moving the ball, passing, scoring easily. No opposition when they get into the paint. Dominating them. Aaliyah Boston, consistently quiet. No presence at all. Aaliyah Boston and Natasha Howard are AWOL. They mentioned it on the broadcast that they're AWOL. Fourth quarter comes, and this is when I knew it was really getting disrespectful. And this is when I knew that Cheryl Reeves really is a genius when it comes to a coach. They kept showing the sideline, and they kept on showing Nafisa Collier. And I noticed, I said, damn, Courtney Williams has been sitting next to her the entire time. But Natisha Heidemann and Courtney Williams both have that damn pink hair. And I'm like, okay, is Courtney Williams hurt? But they're coming off a back-to-back. This is how disrespectful they were to the Fever last night. And it was like a side note that you might not have picked up on. They had Natisha Heidemann out there playing like she's Courtney Williams. Now, I watched the game the other day, and I mentioned that Natisha Heidemann has no fear of anybody on a basketball court. If you're 6'7", she's going in that paint, and she's going to try to lay it up on you. She was doing the exact same thing to the Fever, and it looked like Courtney Williams. She was dishing off the people like Courtney. It was like Courtney Williams was on the court. Their best player, besides Nafisa Collier, wasn't in the game, and they were still rolling, and they scored 32 points in that third quarter, and the Fever only scored 17, and I said, man, they're going to get their ass blown out. But they took their foot off the gas and got lax. Heidemann scored. It was way into the fourth quarter. Heidemann scored. McBride scored. They only scored a few points in the fourth quarter, but it was enough to hold off the Fever because the Fever were inconsistent. In the fourth quarter, they got it to Boston on like multiple possessions, and she scored. And that's the only reason why her stats look decent, is because in the fourth, she decided to get up off her ass and get in that damn paint and bang with them. Because that 3-point shot wasn't falling. That's what cost the Fever this game. Inconsistency. And it starts with their sorry head coach and a few of these players. the last minutes of this game, when they had the slight chance to win, they played with such a lax sense of urgency, and it comes from their coach. To me, it's almost like this team is ready for this season to be over, and they're ready to go on vacation. That's how they played at the end. When they needed a shot, they threw the ball in with about 18 seconds to Aaliyah Boston. Aaliyah Boston's 5 feet from the basket in the paint, planted. For the first time in the second half, she's planted in the paint because they were moving her ass out the paint like she don't have no size. She gets the ball and she kicks it out to a 3-point shooter. I'm like, sweetie, y'all need points. You're 5 feet away. You're 6'5". All you got to do is flick your wrist, put that ball in that paint, and then when they inbound it, you foul them. If you're trying to win the game. But it looks like you're just looking like you're trying to look like a basketball player. Consistency. Shout out to the Minnesota Lynx. I'm not even going to go over the stats. Congratulations to Lexi Hull. 23 points. Career high. That's why you lost. Because Lexi Hull shouldn't be getting to career highs. I'm going to let everybody that's insignificant score and keep the person that can hurt me the most from scoring. Consistently, when they win, it's Natasha Howard and Aaliyah Boston banging, getting into those high numbers in the paint, not shooting threes. If you want to shoot threes, I will let you shoot threes. I will let you have career nights, and I will get the win, and you can get served an L at Club Shay Shay. They got an L because you shot too many threes, you did get in that paint, and you didn't bang on an undermanned team, and you lost the game. Like, share, and subscribe. Leave your comments below. Until next time.